culture or their lack thereof. And as you can see, there's a TikTok I'm looking at. I haven't even clicked on it, but I'm previewing it, and you can see like all the different stuff we do. But there was a clubhouse room that I was in a few days, like I think yesterday, and it was talking about us not having a culture. And we asked different immigrants, okay, well, what is African American or Black American culture? And this dude sat up there and said he lived in America for 23 years. And when we asked him what's the culture, he sat there in silence. And I feel like when it comes to them and us, they want to feel like since the story is we're African slaves and Kunta and all this stupid ass shit that doesn't make sense, um, they want us to be feel like we're Akatas, which means lost African, but we're not fucking African. You know what I'm saying? And when we come into our actual truth of who we are, it makes them feel like irrelevant, you know? So they are, in one token, all up in the culture, wearing the clothes, saying the slang, having the accent, and at the same time diminishing it as if it's nothing. To the point that we have young people at feeling like they don't have a culture whatsoever. And what you can see from just my preview of one TikTok, that is not true.
No, it's not true. And those people have to do that because, see, we never asked the question. All these people that's coming here on top of us, we never asked the question, why are you here?
Right.
We don't question anything. The African American, listen, this is how cold blooded we are, and we don't even recognize it. Words, words, words are very powerful, positive or negative. If you got 50% of your nation calling themselves black, black doesn't have a calendar. Black doesn't do anything. And if you have a half, just imagine half the people in this nation. It could be more. Half the people of this nation calling themselves something that they're not, calling them something that puts them in an awkward position that they themselves don't even know what they're doing. A half a nation of people. You've been to a football stadium or a concert and you felt the energy when the people scream and yell, right? Just imagine if you have a nation full of people, they think of themselves as nothing. They think of themselves as being something in another land. They have no connection to here. Anybody from anywhere can come tell them anything because it's been done before. These people, these immigrants coming over here, I mean, and I be seeing them punking African Americans. And I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Because, like you say, we don't have a clue. And so then now you got people calling us other groups. Now we're broken down into so many things.
FBA, foundational Black
Well,
Americans,
okay.
American descendants of slaves, freedmen. It's a lot going on, and none of
What
it
is
means
all that?
anything.
Moors, Hebrew Israelites,
What is all that?
Pan African.
Pan Africans are the worst. But if you remember, you were on Clubhouse before you got banned. They when we started that room, there were ADOS rooms, and then after ADOS fell apart because there was a court case stating that they were sorting a case from '92 where the victims of Tulsa, like their ancestors, they had genealogical records of their ancestors being from Tulsa and being impacted by that riot. And ADOS is completely against doing any actual work. So they had a falling out. So some of them left and joined FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Either way, None of that is going to fix what they're doing, because if you're an American descendant of slaves, some of those a lot of them American descendants of slaves are fucking white.
Say that again.
A lot of these American descendants of slaves are white.
Those are the trailer park trash that you guys talk of. All of those were slaves. I mean, you can just look. Come on, just like we do. We put ourselves. We want to be everybody. Slaves are Slavs, Slovakian people. We
Right.
want to be everybody. We'll be that too. Isn't that how we do it? Isn't that
We'll
how
be
we
whatever
do?
master tells us to be.
That's right. You got Adolf's people saying, "Yeah, the black women were raped because we're chattel." I'm like, if bitch, if you're cattle, why in the fuck did they have laws and codes for cattle if it's a literal piece of property with no self governance on its own? You're not. I'm not making up laws for my duck. It's fucking cattle. I'm
Right,
not making up restrictions for my duck or any chickens. They're cattle. So for you to say we experienced chattel slavery like y'all are cattle and they set up laws and all this other dumb shit, it's not adding up. Take into account just the way to get a whole bunch of slaves from a continent, take them on a fucking boat. You have to chain them all down and get help to chain all these niggas down. Then you have to feed them. All right, you got to feed your crew. You got to make sure none of them revolt and beat your ass and all this other dumb shit. And then where you getting fucking water for these? How long is a voyage across from Africa to America?
Months, like 2 to 3
Months,
months.
excuse me.
right?
No, okay. I'm gonna be the Pan African. I'm gonna I'm gonna defend the story that we came over here on ships. So whatever you question you have, give it to me.
Got you. All right. So one, we need food for all my slaves and my crew for months.
Uh, See, baby, we got Jesus with us. We don't need to eat. We gonna fast for the whole voyage. What?
All right, man. Like, listen,
No, they
how much?
actually do say that. They actually do say that now that's part of their that's part of the narrative that they yes they were fasting for most lot of the journey. And let me tell you that movie Uncle Tom's, um what is it called, the
Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Goodbye Uncle Tom, or Farewell Uncle Tom, Adios Uncle Tom. Okay, so it's really an Italian movie. It was done in Italy, right? So in that movie, they had special butt plugs for their asses.
They sure did.
Yep. Shit free plugs, so they could explode on
Right.
the inside and die, you know.
That makes no fucking sense, but yeah,
They
go
showed
ahead.
everything. They showed the damn funnels, the metal funnels they was forcing in their throat. Now let me tell you, having putting feed tubes down people's throat into their stomachs, a funnel in your throat is pretty much definitely guaranteed to make you die. You know, because
Oh my god.
it's gonna go in your lungs, man. You know what I mean? It's just guaranteed to kill you. Like somebody that you're not trying to feed, go ahead and put a funnel in their mouth and try to make them eat. They will definitely die on your ass. That's gonna happen.
And see, and what I'm saying is, Howard, people. I mean, okay, over the age of 30, when you get 30, your brain's fully developed, fully. You have no excuses. If you make a mistake, somebody tug you and say, "Yo, man, explain that," and you can't explain it, you need to go back to the drawing board. So we got all these cats telling the youth, people who don't know, people who looking and searching, we got people telling them these stories that you just said. What
That is
what 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 is
ridiculous.
that going to do? What is that going to do to the youth?
Well, they're already it's already a very confusing time. But the problem is they can't tap dance fast enough to tell they lies. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the problem with a lie. A lie begets another lie, begets another lie, begets another lie. And the problem with a whole bunch of lies is they never add up.
Could you give us a couple of examples of how a lie has penetrated throughout the culture and we're just the children are still on the same dumb shit that we were on 50 years ago, 75 years ago?
Ooh, want
Yeah,
me
of
to
course.
share that TikTok?
Yeah, share the TikTok.
Okay.
So for somebody explain to me what TikTok is? I
Short
know.
videos of people doing all kinds of expressing themselves creatively in a short video. I don't know if that is that summarizing enough for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this one. Shut.
You have to cut your volume on, Chiefess.
Got you. Hold on. Uh, how can I expand this?
It doesn't have to be expanded as long as you can hear them. That was good.
All right. All right. Let's see what else we got.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I played it. You couldn't
We
hear?
didn't hear it. We
No.
didn't hear it.
Really? Oh, hold on. So how do I
Just push play and turn up the volume.
wait? Let me see. Can you hear that?
No.
Too low.
Hmm. Let's see. There's another way I can share this though, right?
Right.
Let me see. Let me stop sharing.
But anyway, what was the point of that?
I'm gonna share it. So I'm gonna play it in a second so you can hear it yourself.
Hello, you there?
I think she's talking, but
Oh, I was talking.
she
I
was
said
muted.
I muted myself when I was talking, but yeah, I said so it's amazing how people can, um, they can actually just be led by someone's lies, and as long as we follow them, like we're their slave. Whatever they tell us, we believe it. We basically make ourselves their slave. And if we don't look to the left or the right, and we don't fact check our history and our lives, one thing this thing should be, I think, during these past couple of years, what we should learn is that Uh, all this fact checking on Facebook, which is bullshit. We need to fact check everything that they ever put out because everything they have done in history has been conjured out of their imagination and has been manipulated by their lies. Everything that we know to be true, it comes from them, and it's not true.
And
So,
all it does is to take you to just think about it. I mean, it's nothing you even have to ask somebody. You have a brain. Your brain works like everybody else's. Mostly everything they show you is to pimp you of your funds. That's it.
we believe in this war. If we believe in this war, and that it's actually a real war and that people are actually doing whatever, whatever, and it's a necessary shit. Like if we even believe that this is really what is going on, that they're telling us is going on is actually going on. First of all, we're really ridiculously just naive. Also, we just the whole world just believed the
Oh,
damn
this
shit.
generation.
Yes, it's there.
Okay, Naomi.
Okay.
Just all fucked up back in my
Let me go back. All right.
oh, this generation just all fucked up back in my day. We used to just and ooh. These kids today soft as a motherfucker. We just pretended like we didn't have mental problems and was fucked up on the inside. Look how tough we is. These kids today just soft as fuck. My daddy beat my ass with a plunger handle anytime I talk back, and I turned out just fine. I am emotionally unstable, damaged, fucked up, unhealthy, and I just turned out just fine. These kids today is fucked up. What happened to the two-parent household where one of the parents would just cheat all fucking day and the other parent would pretend like it didn't happen just so they could be together? These fucking kids today just want to have standards. You going to hell. You going to hell. Lord have mercy on your soul. You going to hell. Y'all going to hell. When I say hell is hot over there, ooh, hey, God personally told me to come tell you, you going to hell. We used to play music at the cookout that was about cheating and fucking. What is these kids listening to? Oh, this generation just all fucked up back.
We used to listen to music about cheating and fucking.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
but he's right though. You know,
Right. It's true, right?
it's totally true. And
Totally
then
true.
and then you have the generation that he's talking about. They act like they don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what this lady told me one time? She said, "It's y'all's turn to fix it." I'm like,
Well,
"What?"
I've heard that from someone too, actually. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
that too. He said,
yeah. So what does that mean? What did you do on your turn that you can pass down that we could use to help us?
how about clean up your mess, first of all? How about not leave a mess? How about leave a ladder? How about leave a lifeboat? So a daggone life saving ring, a damn life vest, something, a floaty, something, okay? So
Okay,
people can
so what is it?
survive
So what
and
is it?
thrive.
So is this what? So is what they've done? You think that's enough to sustain the culture?
I mean, I think this is one. Actually, this is the thing. I think that if when you start looking at what has been done to us in the short span of time that it's been done, if you start seeing all the stuff that we've been through, it's really inconceivable that we are as resilient as we are. I think that we are really amazing people. I think we need to give ourselves credit for how amazing, miraculous, tremendous, just brilliant that the brilliance that we have. I think we need to give ourselves a little credit for that. But when you sit up there trying to daggone drink up everybody's Kool-Aid, you don't have a chance to actually look at yourself and see all the shit you've been through. And not only the stuff that you've been through, the stuff that you daggone have contributed, all the things that you have done to make this world more interesting, more tolerable, more convenient. All these things that you have developed that has changed life for so many people, made life better, and you don't give yourself any credit for, and nobody gives you credit for it. So half the time, half of the inventions that these Negroes are doing, we don't even know about. We don't know that a young Negro woman, developed proton therapy for cancer. Don't nobody talk about that stuff.
That's
We
culture, right?
That is culture. We are constantly innovating and changing the entire planet, and we don't even, they keep a lot concealed from us. But you have to understand that, not only is our past and everything we did in our past concealed from us, but a lot of the things we're doing in the present is concealed from us. Our media is not even managed by us. And everything that's done in this world is a media propaganda ploy. So if they're telling you about the boy who smeared shit over a daggone Spanish woman's face in the subway, or they're telling you about they're going drive-by shootings, car hijacks that are turning into murders, or they're telling you about a girl being raped and brought, in a subway with the whole crowd watching and nobody did it. If they're telling you all these stories, or kids being almost abducted in broad daylight by Africans, if they're telling you these stories, but they're not telling you all the amazing stuff that you're doing, that's why we don't know anything. And then we have a whole bunch of people who are in this profession who all conspire to keep it secret. Oprah Winfrey, what's she gonna do? Do stories about down low, and then make schools for damn African girls, and tell you that, oh, no, y'all black people don't want to learn, or y'all just want Nikes. You don't care about
Mind
education.
you, a lot of them girls got sexually assaulted at that damn school.
It was a molestation camp.
It was a molestation party.
You think that?
Molestation
Hey, you ever see
for
that?
the
You ever
money.
see that picture with her kissing Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah.
She was kissing
You,
him.
That's
yeah,
her boo.
yeah. You think he had something to do with that? You think he was going over there getting busy?
Oh, he was getting some chocolate,
Yeah.
chocolate baby, baby,
So that's
chocolate
what I'm
baby
saying. That's
booty,
what
He
that
was
I think
getting
that's
some
chocolate
all.
baby booty.
he was getting some African adrenochrome.
Yeah. I
He was
mean,
getting all of that.
so this what this chick has been doing all these years. I mean, the worst thing I seen was when Barack Obama won the presidency. How Negroes was acting then. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. That I was embarrassed, and so many of us fell for it. It's like y'all don't know who this cat is. Wouldn't go look, didn't care, none of that.
We just wanted to see somebody look like us, be in that White House with his
Yeah,
chocolate wife, and we was just so excited, and we didn't
nah,
even care.
that excuse ain't good enough.
You mean his chocolate tranny wife?
Okay, so look, so
Whatever she is.
yeah, okay, so you see what she just said? Uh,
Yeah.
is tranny wife. How come we don't talk about stuff like that? How come we don't quash that in the bud? We're just, oh, you just lying.
What do you mean?
We never talk about it. It's never a point of discussion. Is all this stuff that we seeing going on in front of us? Is this what's happening? Are we
Well,
seeing a whole? I'm
we
sorry.
got this hush your mouth culture, right? They want to shut our mouths down today. That's what it is, right? Certain things you can't talk about, and that's that. And that's one of the things is the alphabet people. You can't talk about the alphabet people. What you trying to do? So I
What you mean?
mean,
What you mean? But they can talk about you.
they can talk about you. They can destroy your whole career. They can
Oh,
destroy your life. But
no.
you best not talk about them. And
Oh,
then what do they got? They got a hit squad of people that are high in the media, Anderson Cooper, his boo, John Lemon. All these people that are heavy hitters today are going to take you down like some kind of mafia. We have to understand we're like in a country that's built on mafia. Like it's a mafia country. These people
Yeah,
are a bunch of mobsters in here.
yeah, but I think with the ingenuity that we have and some of the things that we can do, that's something that can be overcome easily. It seems like giving us trinkets always turns us the other way. You don't, like you always say, these people are dumb. What these people do, how they waste and just tear up the planet, they're dumb. You don't think we have enough intelligence to checkmate that? I think we
We
do.
do. We do. We do. But the thing is that we've been desegregated, and what desegregation has done, integration has done rather, is it's making, and the media has made us distrust each other. So we think anything they do, if they shit, we love it. You know what I mean? We don't trust one another like we should. We don't really we need to get better at that. We need to start trusting and working together more, because yes, we can do it a lot of things if we put our value in each other.
So what do we do, or how do we make it to where the state of the youth grabs that what you just said, makes sense of
I
what you just
really
said?
think we need to start doing things. We need to start our own. First of all, we need to start our own like leagues and scouts. We need to start creating like the bronze men of bronze, like young men of bronze, women of bronze, or copper colored women or copper
You
colored
mean
men.
like a
We
Girl
start.
Scout type shit?
Yes, we need to start.
Okay.
We need to start our own. We need to start doing that with our own people. Start giving them a sense of pride and unity, cooperation, and also survival skills. We need to start doing that. I mean, that's how we can kind of win. We need to start doing that with our young people, getting some organizations together and doing that kind of shit. There's grant money. We can do it. Fucking the Girl Scouts is one of the richest organizations in the country. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. They make a mint, okay? But we can do that for our youth. We can create, organization that's they stole it from us. We're the scouts. You know what I mean? So I mean, we need to go ahead and take that shit back, so we can actually train up their minds. And even if our families want to put their kids in school because they work night shift, or because they working three jobs and they can't homeschool their kids or whatever the hell. I mean, we need to create a mechanism where the kids' information is supplemented. So all these lies that they're taught in these schools, we can counteract with truth and they're going dignity.
That's a great idea. That's a really awesome idea. And even when you spoke to those children in Virginia and educated them, that's also great. And even, going to the schools and doing like a show and tell and talking about, the culture of those people there, um and just supplementing their information, because it's in everyone's benefit for the Indian to not know who they are at the end of the day. And we have to be more hands-on, boots on the ground with the youth, because we don't need them to be on TikTok all sad like Drake. It's unnecessary.
Baby
There's
Drake.
a right. There's parents that are tired and don't want to deal with their kids. And if we decide to do some type of boy or girl scouts, you know what I'm saying, to supplement that time between, they could learn something, they could have a sense of self, and that'll fill in the gaps of their own story and their own culture and how it relates to them and how it relates to their family, instead of thinking Africa this, Africa that. Because here's the thing. If you decide to go your little skeezer's house or your boo's house or whoever's house, what you got to go through a fucking traffic light. And who made that? One of us. Let's say she's on the fifth floor and you don't want to take the stairs. You get on the elevator. You know who made that? One of us. And even when you got to turn on the lights to see somebody, that filament in the bulb was made by one of us. So we are of this land, we innovated this land, and we don't stray from this land. And if you think about it, if the women is of the land and representative of the land, a lot of us don't leave. But with these Africans, they flee their bitch every fucking day and let China hit and Europe hit and they run off somewhere else. And Africa's they grandma or whoever and they run. But we don't
Yep.
leave.
No, we don't. No, we
You
don't.
see now.
And
You see that about
time
yourself.
is
You see that about yourself. Everybody's coming over to your home, telling you everything about you, pulling you all out of your emotional stability, pulling you all out. They not even from they're not even from here. That's like me coming over your mama's house and I tell her what to cook. She don't cook what she want to cook. I tell her what to cook. And that's not how it works. And these people disrespect you for one reason and one reason only, because you don't respect yourself. That's it. If you listen to what all these people over here, they see what you do. They see that you in all these groups. We're broken down to at least 100 different groups. Easy. You don't think these people who've been warring with America all these years are not seeing how this stuff is set up? You're not thinking that all these people who America has been to war with, who have killed their mamas, their whole families, and you helped. You don't think these people remember that? So what if they start doing to your mamas what you did to their mamas? What's up now? See, we don't talk about that. We keep that hush hush, and that's going to be our downfall. Because see, we do stuff and then we try to hide it. But what goes around, and you better pay attention to this, because see, we some people, a basketball game will throw our attention 300 miles away. A basketball game, something on TV. We're not even connected to the land that birthed us. We don't even walk on her anymore. They put a line that you can walk on called concrete. That's toxic to the environment. You walk on it with some rubber shoes surrounding your feet so you won't have no contact with the earth. You wear baseball caps. You wear wigs on your hair so you can't telepathically communicate with each other. I mean, goddamn, y'all, it's that simple. I don't know. This is how we do. This. Shouldn't we be teaching our children this stuff? No. We sending them to the same piece of shit school that we went to. And then muster up all that fakeness because they graduated high school. They're just certified retarded. You think schools, does the school tell you about your family and who you are? They told you was from Africa, or they tell you from Africa, don't they? So get it together, people. The state of the youth, I mean, this is what we're going to leave them. People, them not understanding people who all they do. We in the middle of a goddamn pandemic and you starting a war? Huh? Does that make sense? Lisa, does that make sense?
It makes sense when plan A didn't work, you gotta go to plan B, boo. That's what it is. Plan A didn't work. You knew plan B was designed to cause financial, economic devastation. That's what plan B had to be. If you can't get them one way, you gotta cripple them another way. It's a slow and agonizing way to do it, and the fallout is not going to be necessarily the way you think it is. Because the reality is, the one thing about us as a people is that we can do without because we're always dealing with less, right? We're always dealing with less. We're always this is the thing about being us, okay? Being the indigenous people, we are always used to instability. We are used to states of instability. You might have a job, you might not have a job, you might get this. See, these white folks be they are used to things, especially some of these people that are comfortable and middle class, upper middle class and above. They are not used to hard times. And the thing about economic stability, it's a life changer even if you have money, because it's going to change the resources around you. Even though you know that you virtually do have resources, when everybody around you doesn't, it still changes what how you can move in the world. It still changes how you daggone can get things done in the world. So the people that are going to suffer the most with some devastation, economic fallout, disaster as a result of some economically, expensive, massively detrimental war that we get ourselves involved in. That's just it's not going to be pretty. And actually, the people that are going to fare the best, like I said, are the people that are always bouncing back and forth and having to deal with different types of life situations. That would be the indigenous people. So the mistake that they're making is that thinking some of all this bullshit that they're just not smart, like I said. Because this shit, it ain't the people that it's gonna hurt ain't gonna be them. It's like when they put out the daggone cocaine, the opioids, and they thought that was gonna get us, and they put them pharmacies on every corner in our hoods, and them shits didn't work because we aren't into opioids. We don't want no oxycodone. That shit all or that don't even work for our pain. The shit don't do shit for us. I don't know why white people think like it so much. I don't know, but it works for their chemistry. It does not work for us. So when they push that damn oxy out there and try to make it so appealing, the shit backfires. Now we got all these daggone vacant daggone pharmacies and a bunch of Family Dollars and Dollar Trees and damn former buildings that used to be pharmacies because they don't know what they're doing. I'm just trying to figure out when they gonna figure out that your plans aren't working and you've had 100 years or at least 50 to figure out something that will work and you're not able to do it. So you need to give up, surrender. You're not winning. You're not winning. And I know it's really painful and it's very frustrating and no one likes to admit that you've lost, but they have lost this. This is not working because the time that we're in right now is bigger than these plans that they make. It's bigger than humankind. It's bigger than man. It's bigger than anything. This is the planet, right? This is nature. This is God. This is everything needs to go back to its natural state, and they don't naturally belong here, and they don't naturally belong in daggone we don't naturally belong in subjugation to these daggone people, these damn entities. These entities do not belong in power over us, in domination. So this time is over. They cannot take land that's not theirs anymore. They cannot they cannot subjugate a people who are not their slaves anymore. Now they have people that are their slaves. They can take their slaves with them. You know what I mean? But they don't belong here. Take your Oprah Winfrey's and your Whoopi Goldbergs and get the hell on.
Not Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi. Whoopi got so damn rough. after this, during and after this whole thing, she's looking like she's a box in the head. Her face is looking like a box. She's looking like a blockhead. I don't know what's happened to her since they made her bow down and scrub the ground and kiss their boot. I don't know what happened, but she looks like it's tearing her up some kind of way. She
You
ain't
know,
looking right.
listen, they in that Hollywood stuff. Her Oprah and all. That Hollywood stuff. They do something to them. They do something to them brothers and sisters up there. What would make and see? Here's again something we don't want to talk about because we know the real. What would make Michael Jackson do that to himself? I mean, seriously. Take everything you've learned, everything you've picked up about your life, what life is. Why would somebody do that to themselves? How come we don't talk about that? Because most of us feel like him on the inside. That's why would he do that to himself?
Well, we also have to understand the time in which he was coming up. Who are his opponents? Even though he was extremely supremely popular, he was up against Prince, and he was up against the Foster Silvers and the Silvers. And remember, when the Jacksons were flying, happening, light skin was in for a minute there. That was the light skin time. It was not a long time, but it was a time when the light skin was in, and that's what he came up during. So he always probably felt some kind of way is that, damn, if only I was light skinned did it, you know? If only I was light skinned did it, things would be just perfect. Everybody wants what they don't have or what they're not.
Yeah. Okay, but you see that dude? I mean, seriously, come on. What would make a person do that to themselves?
Well,
Why
I mean,
are
you have
why
you,
are
you
people on social media dropping it low and they claiming they not gay and then going on the internet saying they gay because they drop it low and they're dating a tranny and they're 16 and they're a streamer and their best friend is a Jewish streamer that hangs out with rappers.
What's a streamer?
A streamer is a person that uses an app called Twitch and they broadcast their games and host. Sometimes they have e-dates. There's this kid that's 16 and he hung out with this dude who's also a famous streamer and hangs out with rappers, and within a couple of months of him leaving Ohio and hanging out with this guy who makes all these weird jokes to rappers, gay jokes to rappers, he's Jewish by the way. Now he's talking about he's gay and he does this weird dance.
Listen, I don't
saw a
know.
post with this brother who was in Chicago, and he had this dude with a tank top on and all this other stuff, and he was like, "Bruh, 6 months ago you was dressed like a dude and you was high on some shit, and I saved your life. You almost got hit by the bus." He said, "You didn't look nothing like this, bruh. Like, what happened?" So it's like, what is really happening?
It's an
What is really
attack.
making people?
It's an attack on multiple fronts. I would say it's an attack on multiple fronts, I would say.
Uh huh.
But I'm gonna share the video because I'm a horrible person.
I
Hold
just love
on,
it.
I'm about to share it.
No, you
Y'all are
don't have
gonna.
to.
Want to
Because
see?
huh?
I want to see. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
see.
I'm gonna share it. Oh wait, let's do this.
Because that's what we're doing. See, that's why we don't look ahead and don't look forward. That's why we aren't, and then the other thing, this is the thing, Carrie, I'm talking about Michael Jackson coming up and his daddy's talking about him, your nose is big, you're black, you're not all that, blah, blah, blah. You don't look like you don't look like Foster Silvers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Things like that happen. That happens. That happens in our families. That happens. But just think about today. Today you got kids that they don't know if they what they are sexually. They don't know what they are in their nationality. They don't have any nationality. They don't know what they are historically because people are saying that they're chattel slaves.
You yourself is saying it. Doesn't that make that? Do you think that's more of an impact when you yourself direct it to yourself?
How about if your mama is one of them people that's saying it?
Right, right, right,
How about if she listens to these YouTubers and she's of a mindset of like, yeah, we're gonna get our reparations, and she's running around teaching her children that yeah, we came from chattel slaves and we deserve reparations. You know what? Chattel slaves, and so you're saying it as a matter of fact,
right. Yeah,
and you haven't verified this fact.
right,
No, you have just accepted a fictitious storyline that was presented to you as a fact that you're teaching to your babies and your grandchildren. Damn.
what, what, you know, to the babies, all this stuff, everything you've been taught, you know, to the listeners out there, everything you've been taught. Look at it from a different, look at it from your point of view. Don't look at it from nobody else's point of view, because this is what the African American does. They don't think of things themselves. They don't figure out. They don't, African Americans don't do that. They sit and wait for somebody to come tell them what to do. Just like black folks, just like Negroes, same, they have that same kind of spirit within them. They don't look at the world and say, let's do this as a group of people, knowing what they, their friends, their family have been through in this country. They don't look at it like that and just go ahead and take off from there. We know what needs to be done. Treat everybody how they treat you. Economically, treat them how they treat you. And we act like that's a sin. We actually act like that's a sin. Everybody got businesses around your house and you have none. Supply nothing to your people, men and women. Really? This is what we do? This is what we're handing off to our kids? This is what we have now. This is what we have now. This is what the civil rights generation is handing off now. You
We
now go ahead. I'm
we
sorry.
have allowed this world to disintegrate to the point that I am horrified at the things that these young kids are exposed to. You know, uh, it's just there's it, I really like a child-proof world. I like to have it, I don't know, but see for me when I was raising the kids, even though I did like rap music and different types of music and I did play different types of music, I really, especially when they were really like little toddlers and shit, I would daggone really basically I was playing like, kiddie music. I didn't so I really a lot of the dances that were going on in those years when they were little, I didn't really know a lot of them. I didn't know, I didn't watch a lot of different movies because I tried to give them as much as I could, a kid friendly world,
Right,
and it's like nah, it's all adult. It's
right,
like
right,
the kids just
right,
be damn better take it. You just better take it, okay? Handle this shit because really who like that video you had of that daggone Jewish guy talking about there's no real age that's too young to have sex with a child.
right,
What is too young to have
right,
sex?
right,
What does that mean anyway? that professor that was talking like
Right,
that.
right,
That's
right,
the way people think. They want these kids to be exposed, overexposed to adult themes. So because they don't feel guilty about molesting these children, they don't. They don't. And it's easier if they already got exposure.
yeah. And
It's
so that's
easier. The problem is in their minds is that yeah, I'm a monster because you kept your kid naive. Well, those kids don't have to be naive. Let them know. Yeah, they could be gay. They could
right,
be trans. They could be this. They could be bisexual. They could be trisexual. They could be this. They could be wanting to do it with animals. They want the kids to be overexposed to sexual content
right,
so that they can feel guilt free, which they really aren't guilty anyway,
right.
but they can have free range at your children. That's what it is.
So how long do you think that's been going on?
No, it's I don't think it's been going on long. I think that we had I think I had a very kid friendly. Remember, we had Bewitched, we had Daggone, I love Lucy, all that shit. It didn't start getting real adult in the world till the 90s, you know.
Right,
And then the 90s came and it was like, hell, it's all
right,
about money, sex, and cars, women, drugs. Like they didn't care about anything.
right,
They didn't care. The kids didn't need to be exposed to this stuff. You know, there wasn't any there. Everything was wide open, and it just started getting more and more so. You know,
well, I want to ask a question because you were talking about children, raising children, and you'll always be a mother, but if you had all the manpower of the brothers from America at your fingertips right now, what would you do with it if you had all those hours?
oh yeah, definitely. We need to start. We need to start a whole army of men who will start pulling together their minds, first of all, on just like how a man and women should be, what's important to making us successful individuals. There needs to be like think tanks where we just start establishing just some rules of play, just so we know how to treat each other, how we know how to win in this world, because there are formulas for success. you know we have to know that there are formulas for success. And the fact that we're not imparting this information to one another is a problem. We need to start doing that. Also, these men, I would love to see men just be learn how to daggone, like I said, uh, survive, fix a car, build, work with wood, work, hunt, fish, clam, I don't know, forage, cut down a tree, build something, carve, um, electronics, solar, all this. I would love for us to start as babies, because guess what? Our babies are interested. Them little babies, the 2 year olds, they want to learn how to do stuff. They want to see. They used to be around us, and we were doing all the stuff. We were making our own baskets, making our own, inventions. We were daggone making our own chemicals from the plants. They saw us pick the plants, make things for the plants, heal people from the plants. They learned. They had on the job training every day. But if we could have a system where we can have camps, and or at least experiences where we could share this with our young people, and have a mechanism where we are imparting wisdom and skills to people on a regular basis. I would love men to be able to do that. And then the other thing is, we used to have the thing where we would help each other. I'm building a house. Can you have a few men come together in different places and help y'all get together every weekend, so, and dedicate a few hours to help this brother build his house? And then when it's your turn, we all go to your house in whatever town you're in, and we help build that other brother's house. Can we do stuff like? Why can't we do stuff like that? Fix things, build things, create things, and you know how, and let me tell you something. We would be so happy because there's really, even though we talk shit about each other, we do, there is nothing better than when we are vibing together and we are working together. We don't need much. We just need each other. We're gonna make the music. People can sing, people can make music. You be sitting up there, you don't even need to have a damn stereo. People like this at the summit. They'll bring a guitar or somebody will start singing or whatever. And we'll have fun. So that's not even a worry. But just the ability to actually see and do and unite and build together, we need to start doing that. Like, if I could have the resources, that's what I would do. I would create a network of men that can actually like build together, work together, and have a network where we would just boom 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 go from having in every damn state, every other town, where we are just building stuff, making stuff, helping stuff, people get things done. That would be awesome. And then you're teaching the youth all the same time because they're seeing you work together. They're seeing you build this house. They're seeing you build cars. They're seeing you build planes. They're seeing you make water plumbing systems, electric systems, or, solar systems, whatever. We have the skills for everything. Building computers. We got it. We got people that know how to do everything. What we don't know how to do is stop being dependent on the tit of this demon.
You right. You're absolutely right. You're
We
right.
keep sucking on this demonic tit, you know what I mean? We're afraid to let go. Oh, well, I got my good government job. I got well this and I got man, all these things they make you think you need all of this shit. What do you really, really need? Everything that we have, we could actually do away with. There's very little that you can really need. And if you have the resources, really, if you have the land and you have the tools, to do the stuff, that's the main thing. Because if you got a good saw and shit you can cut with or whatever, you can build whatever.
You
If
know,
you got stuff to trade, you can get other stuff to use. But basically, we act like it has to come out of a can or we don't want it.
you have to come out of Walmart.
It gotta be coming out of Walmart. It gotta be in a can. It's gotta be packaged, or we won't survive. We won't survive.
So when you say that, you know what I think of?
What?
How just the estimation. What do you estimate from 1970 till today? How much have the African American black spent on TVs?
Oh my God. I mean, they keep getting bigger and bigger. I know. I mean, I have a decent TV, but most of my people that I know, their TVs in their bedrooms are bigger than my damn living room TV, and I have high ceilings. So I'm like, damn. I was telling my daughter, I was like, compared to a lot of people, my TV's kind of small. Most people got bigger TVs in their bedroom than I know. And
It,
I'm
it's
like,
it's
and
something
so my daughter
psychological
was
about
like,
that.
she was saying, you got TV envy. I said, no, I ain't got no TV envy. That's what they trying to do. That's what they trying to do. I'm just making an observation. But
It,
but we spend so much more on distraction. And
it,
what are we gaining from it?
you were talking about the size of the TV, and there's something psychological about that because
Right.
because you're right. Because remember when those flat screens first came out, they were like 24-inch, and that was cool.
Right.
It was the size of a cell phone. Serious. Hey, I want to welcome
Right.
Rebel. Hi, Rebel. How you doing?
Hey,
Thanks for joining us
Rebel
tonight.
made it. Yay, we got our first chat person.
Yay. So,
Yeah.
like what you're saying with the, building. If brothers could just come together and build houses, I'm talking about. It doesn't have to build by these people's specifications. You can
No,
come.
we build you build what you well actually, you think it's their people, their specifications shit. Most of the designs out there we've done. You know
Right,
what I mean? So
right,
I mean we have to this is what we have to understand is that half the shit that they do, they took from us. How did they learn to claim? People in damn Ireland were surrounded by water. They're going England. Those are islands. Why were anybody starving? Why? Because they didn't like fish. They didn't eat the seafood. How you have a potato famine and you're surrounded by damn water? See, this is the thing. They're stupid and and you know what I'm saying? I'm
right,
sorry, but
right,
it doesn't make any sense. So you
right,
have to understand that these people don't know how to do these things. But what they do is they sit with our Uncle Remus and they sit under his damn shadow, and they have him show them everything that he does.
right,
You know, and then next thing you know, their daddy grows up, he knows how to do it, and he shows his sons, and then his sons swear that his family's been doing it. He learned
right,
from his daddy. And
right.
you know who's forgotten? Uncle
Uncle
Remus, who
Remus.
showed his daddy.
Yep.
So I mean, most of these people that we see are experts on hillbilly cooking. How you get up in the hills?
Right.
Who's up in the hills teaching you how to cook? Us, because we
Right.
always been in the damn hills. The
Right.
Indians was always up in the mountains.
Right.
Those daggone Irish and damn Scottish people that went up in the hills and became so-called hillbillies and Melungeons, the way they cook is soul food, and they learned it from the Indians. They didn't learn no
Right.
biscuit making and corn and corn bread, fried corn, and all kinds of corn puff. They didn't know how to do that from themselves. That didn't come from Ireland. That didn't come from Scotland. That's our food.
Right.
We taught them.
Right.
They didn't even know how to survive. So everything we do, everything they do, just about in this, not even just here. You got to understand, we traveled and taught people all kinds of stuff. So we're our daggone skills are all over this planet. Our imprints all over this planet. We're doing stuff. We've been doing stuff, and we're still doing stuff, and we're still doing stuff, and still not getting credit for it. And we don't have credit for all the stuff we've done all throughout eternity.
So we're gonna have to flip the tables on that one, y'all. Seriously. So that, so
Right.
so is this what we pass down to our children? Is
What do
this
you
what we
mean?
have? Is this the type thinking that we have now? I'm talking about as a nation of people. If this is what we pass down to our children,
I
see,
think that, and I think maybe we also need to go ahead. So I was thinking about doing. I haven't been on my channel in a long time actually, and I was thinking about doing one called chew the meat, spit out the bones. And I was thinking about just sitting and eating some fish and talking about it, because that's, really when you talk about chewing the meat and spitting out the bones, the main meat that you do that with is like fish, bony fish,
right,
which is what real country people tend to like. They tend to like bony fish, right? I
right,
like bony fish. So, but you have to chew the meat and spit out the bones because it's full of bones.
Right.
But that's just the thing. In life, you're gonna have a lot of bones, uh, not necessarily, but that's the way it is oftentimes. So
Right.
you gotta take the good with the bad. But in that, we also have to take that attitude towards each other. Yeah, all of us are not going to get along all the time. No, all of us are not going to be on our first behavior, on our best behavior, or we're not going to agree on things. But I think we have to learn to fucking swallow some stuff and ignore some shit with each other. I
Right.
think we're never going to, this is not going to get any better unless we do. We're going to have to learn to compromise and ignore some things. Because if we don't, we won't be able to get anything done cohesively. So I mean, so what? So and so ain't this, or they're not saying that. This is something that I am just arriving to because I have my own idiosyncrasies. I'm not gonna say I haven't, and I don't. I still do. There are certain things that I believe should be done a certain way. Hey, that's where the way I think about it. If somebody else ain't about that, okay, well, what's that to me? It's really nothing to me. So why don't I just
Right.
shut the fuck up about it? Excuse
Right.
my French. I don't need to worry about everybody being on the same page as me. But if we can get just some major points in the same direction, that's enough for us to go ahead and chew that meat.
That's right.
That's enough. We gotta start looking at the commonalities amongst us, and stop looking at every little nitpicking at every little detail. And then we need to also just learn to have a little level of just civility and respect for one another, And also, how about just like appreciating people for what they're doing and not trying to be in competition? This whole competition, this whole crab in the barrel thing, that stuff has got to go. We have to see everybody's win as a win for ourselves. We have to start celebrating each other and congratulating and encouraging. Can we do that? Can you really like have that feeling in your heart where you just like, yeah, I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they got that done. I'm really proud of that. That's good for them. Because if they can do it, then I can do my thing. If they
Right.
can win, then maybe my grandbaby can win. If they can win, then maybe my niece can win. If they can win, maybe I can win. We need to see everybody's win as our win and stop seeing everybody as competition. Who are we competing against? Ourselves? That's stupid. And who are we competing for? These damn masses? They're not our masses. They're the slaves. We only make them masses.
So with that, any last words before we get out of
Nah,
here?
I'm about done. I mean, I think that for the youth, I think, and this is a very crucial time for us to actually start making concerted efforts to create programs, to create systems of safety and organizations that are going to save our youth. That is the only chance we have for the future. That is, and if like we said, you have to like invest in the future. That's probably the most important investment we can make is in young people because we're not going to live forever. But if we can sow everything we have into the next generation in some form or another where they can win, that's the best
Yeah.
investment to make, man.
And I said the same thing with the youth because this is one thing about the youth that's real cool. If you teach a youth something when they're real little, as they're growing, it becomes like second nature to them. It's nothing. It's nothing to do. So, if we tell certain kids certain things or we teach them certain things, I'm talking about when they're young, 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 years old, they'll remember it and they'll do something with it, what they'll do with it. And that's what we got to teach them. Have some respect for yourself. If you don't have no respect for yourself, go listen to a song by the Staple Singers called Respect Yourself. You'll look at yourself different in a 3-minute song. That's what you used to do. That's how you used to communicate with each other through the music. Check out them old songs in the 70s. Ask your grandmama about them. Ask your mama about them. You know about them. In those songs, those people were telling you certain things. You know, it just wasn't all this what they showing now. The music had something to it. Plus, it was funky. So check out some of them songs, and you'll get a line, two lines, a whole paragraph of words by some of these singer-songwriters in the 70s. Now I say 65 through 80. Some
Don't
cold,
listen to the ones about cheating and all the other stuff. Don't listen to those songs though.
yeah.
But you know,
I mean, you can listen to them. They cool, but you know, they ain't saying nothing. You know, most of the songs didn't say nothing. Most
right?
you think Super Freak was a hit?
It was a hit though. It was a hit.
Yeah, but it was garbage. You know, but just because I like it, don't mean that it wasn't garbage. You know, it was garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So uh check out some of the things that your people have done, you know, all over the country. All over the country. Done wonderful things. And you can tell by the way it's done who did it. So if it vibes with you, get with some of these brothers in some of your neighborhoods, come up with different ideas, do different things. Boy Scouts don't do it their way. Do it your way. Girl Scouts, do it your way. What did the indigenous women do in America? What did they do? Did they make their own clothes? Did they? What
We
kind of
build
clothes did they
houses. We did all kinds of stuff
make?
because
Right,
we were that kind of society where you did what your gifts were. What your
right.
gifts were, that's what you did. We hunted as well. So I mean, you know, we need to, just kind of hone into that. Let everyone exercise their strengths and gifts, where however they come out. You know what I mean? That's what we need to encourage everybody to be their best and exercise their gifts, use them to the best that they can. Um, you know, hopefully that's what we can do.
No, we are doing it. And with that, I want to tell everybody to keep your head to the sky, and we'll see you next time.
Oh
Peace.
no, I want you all to save this channel. Understand that, yeah, the indigenous one has a second channel, and that it may be necessary for you to come on over to this side, depending on what's going on in the world of YouTube and the politics that be. This is an alternate way for you to actually get the programming from the indigenous one on this channel, indigenous one and guests. Okay, so save this, share it, tell everybody else to subscribe to it, because we want to be able to know, let people know where to find them. That's why we're here.
Thank you very much, Elisa.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So listen, y'all, we're gonna see you next week. Pay attention to what's going on in the world and how it affects you, because a whole bunch of stuff being put out about you. You have to be invisible right now. Nobody wants to hear you because things are, see, this is what I'm saying. So there's a war going on in Croatia right now. Why aren't the Croatians that's here going home to help their people? Crickets. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention to what's being said and done to you. Check me out on Facebook on African Americans Ain't Africans. Hey, and you guys have a good evening. Peace.